Well, hello and welcome to another Daily Dominion after I believe, 4-day hiatus. Is that how you pronounce it? I am back to playing the daily, and I had a really fun weekend in the snow in Italy in the mountains. You can see one of the top pictures here. It was amazing. We had clear skies, we had um, amazing snow for skiing, and we spent 3 days where we were like 7 hours on the slopes. And it was great. I had a lot of fun, and yeah, I still hope you did enjoy the videos I had put in the pipeline. The match against Saldrosa. The I think the fourth video is coming out today. It's the fourth game, which is I think quite fun to watch, even though let's say it didn't go too well for me. But yeah, I can only recommend it. Now, what is this kingdom we have here today? Well, it has the base game and plunder. And if I hide myself, you can see that. Well, we have two cost cards, Search and Shaman, and or I think Shaman is the correct pronunciation. I'm sorry. Shaman is a game warping card in that whenever you trash a card, it might end up in your opponent's deck because at the start of each of your turns you gain a card costing up to 6 from the trash. And this makes trashing all the more important and might make this one kind of a doozy. Now, what else do we have? We have a strong attack in Witch, and also I guess the Shaman stuff is can be considered an attack. Then Flagship has the patient trait. Flagship lets you double or triple or whatever play your action. So it has a patient trait. So if we draw one dead, we may set it aside and play it at the start of next turn. And sometimes this might also come in handy if the two money wouldn't be useful otherwise. Also, what else is there? There is a distinct lack of plus buy. No, there is no like plus buy. Abundance has plus buy. I was about to say until the searches pop, but Abundance has the plus buy. I see that earlier. Also, Burries has plus buy, but of course this is not a plus buy you can use to gain multiple cards, but it lets you put cards from the discard pile on the bottom of our deck, and this kind of accelerates the opening, or at least allows us to ensure that we do not bottom deck one of our shamans and thus get to do the trashing a bit earlier. Now, let's look at the kingdom plot. What else do we have? We have an abundance of village in swamp shacks, throne room, patient flagship, also village, first mate, somewhat of village. So that shouldn't be a problem. Draw in laboratory, first mate, witch, swamp shacks, anything really. And thus, yeah, this should be a kingdom where you should be able to build quite a nice engine. And the key to that is going to be to thin down really quickly and consistently and keep playing those shamans, hammer them in. Now, what do I suggest for openings? I think all of the splits are pretty fine here. Some emphasize the witch a bit more. Yeah, some do some other stuff. Um, yeah, actually the 3/4 is really good. I'd say you can open double shaman and bury one of them, and hopefully see one of them on turn 3 and one of them on turn 4. And also going witch shaman seems like a fine opening, trying to curse your opponent early on. Now, yeah, I don't know how this is going to evolve. There's no midterm gains, I believe, so that's a thing to look out for. We're limited to our buy phase to acquire stuff, but yeah, abundance should be a nice way to increase the buys. Okay, I guess we start. So we bury the shaman here. AI goes for flagship and probably buries the flagship. Actually, do we want to bury an estate alongside the shaman? This is a perk you get to do on the 4/3. And I think we do. We want to make it less likely that we find the other shaman, and we want to have our shaman preferably trash estates over coppers. So yeah, but nonetheless, the worst case happens. Our both our shamans are in this hand, and thus, yeah, I guess we have to deal with that. But we can bury a shaman next turn and be okay. Yeah, we gain our thingy right back, unfortunately. Actually, I think it's best here to just bury all of this stuff and not trigger this next shuffle. And now we have the surge, an estate, and a copper in there. Maybe we should have bought a... last turn we maybe should have bought a shaman to... Or actually, let's only bottom deck one shaman, and then next turn we can bury again, and that sounds pretty good. Yeah, this other shaman is going to stay in the discard pile there, and we get to trash an estate, play the search, buy a flagship, but also bottom deck a shaman. Could also think about just doing the same thing again. Just yeah, but we're not gaining anything off of that, so we should start to put in flagship here. AI does not trash there, that's amazing. We double trash here, probably just put in another search. I like it a bit over silver, just because, well, it will yield loot later, and, well, we can just bury this and bury that and that to give the curse right back. I'm not sure we're doing anything else that should be useful with this turn, so yeah, the patient flagship we won't be able to play next turn, but we can just set it aside. Hopefully double play or no, we can guarantee to double play a shaman with it the next turn, and put this search into play. Yeah, we're a bit short on like draw so far. Like we're not doing that much, but at least we are junking AI a lot, and we're getting some searches into play. We will hit 5 next turn to pick up a witch probably, or although a throne room or laboratory also looks good. And yeah, I even wonder whether we just bury another estate here to really trash 2 estates next turn. Hmm. Yeah, let's go for that, and our buys set aside this flagship, and of course these shamans collide again. Well, well. Um, I I mean now we're regaining this copper, but okay, AI is building up an army of flagships, and that's kind of scary to be honest. Um, hmm. I'm actually inclined to go for a swamp shacks with the searches in play. It's at least a village. Although we could do this next turn, we'll hit 4 next turn for sure. Right? Yeah. So even at 5, but we get cursed to oblivion. Um, yeah, what do we even top deck here? I think a shaman again to keep ahead in trashing. But yeah, this for sure hurt. And now we put in a throne room. The flagships are This flagship army is scary. Well, we do get to double play this, and do we want to pop our searches here? Mm, I believe we don't want to because that would also make this swamp shacks useless. We have the witch there. Do we want to bury? Throne room and a shaman. Mm, I don't think we want to do that. I mean, we just looked at our discard pile, which could be considered somewhat of a stretch, but yeah, I think we just want to add a throne room, or is it the flagship actually? No, let's trigger the loots actually. I think I like that. And we do get some nice loots, and I forgot about this shaman loot synergy. Oh man, I'm not playing this to my fullest extent, to my best. Well, I should have considered that. But yeah, I still think we're in the game um, by buying more witch or more laboratory or our first laboratory. We should be in the clear. AI will probably double play its witch there, but AI has a very junky deck. The main thing it's got going for it is this army of flagships, which is indeed quite scary. But um, yeah, I'd say as long as we get to keep drawing, well, we don't have really have drawing here. We should be good. Although we can set up some draw in here via this decline that via this orb if we so want to, and then afterwards we can still play the staff to play some actions from our hand. Now, there's a question of whether this shaman actually wants to be played at this point, or whether we just want to triple play the witch to triple curse AI here. Mm, yeah, I think that's better. So let's not trash here, just play this flagship, play this witch, which can then, yeah, double play this shaman, and we can we probably should buy something to put in there. There's a witch down there. There's no plus actions down there, so that's a bit bad. But I still like the play here. We had three flagships coming in is also super scary. I think we just maybe buy a province. Weird as it sounds. And we go for laboratory, bury laboratory, go for throne room. Or actually, no. Go for abundance, bury abundance, because we have the witch down there, and then buy a laboratory. And the witch bottom decks anyway, so then throne room would have been better. And yeah, this is certainly looking scary. Not all too great, but we do get to bury some stuff with the throne room, a laboratory, a flagship, and a swamp shacks. Yeah, I think so. We've thrown the laboratory next turn and play the witch, then the swamp shacks or whatever. I think this looks nice. Skipping out a turn here essentially, but yeah, and AI kind of wastes its built-up flagship stack on those shaman, on the shaman there, which is, I mean, they do get to province, but Nonetheless, they also do have to, uh, well, get some of their flagships out of play, but they still have this army of flagships there. And I should have flagshipped this witch, I think. And yeah, we have the lean deck, but also AI is ahead a bit. I wonder whether we just put a laboratory or anything on to the bottom of our deck. Then also the abundance triggers there for a province, a throne room, and probably just another search. Yeah, I think I like that. Yeah, I will bury an estate. Okay, that doesn't make any sense. And was about to say I would really like to find um, I would really like to find a village here, but alas, I think we just go for a duchy actually. Do we even trash the copper? I think if we trash copper, we trash 2 coppers. So we regain 1 next turn and just buy this duchy, set aside this flagship, and AI triple plays the search, goes for this province, and buries random stuff. Yeah, has turned into quite the nail biter. Yeah, we double play this throne room with the flagship that's coming in, so that's really nice. Or triple play even. So we get to double play this witch, play this search a bunch of times, and now play this a bunch of times. Keep on thinning. I think this is the only thing we've got going for us. Decline that. And we need to double province here, otherwise we're just dead. AI has a bunch of stuff set aside. But yeah, now we just need to hope that next turn somehow works out. Is there a world where we can bury something useful? I guess if AI goes for double province, we are dead anyway, so we might as well set up the next turn with some, I don't know, swamp shacks as the starter, or yeah, we have search and throne room search in play, so yeah, we do get to do this, and additionally then get to, I don't know, pick up duchy and nothing else, leaving 5 searches. How is that? Let's not do that. Yeah, this looks like a good draw. AI chokes a bit there, but also we choke, so decline, decline. And if we just buy a Shaman, that's not enough to hit province, right? So we just leave the abundance in play, go for a duchy and end our turn. Yeah, this is like the main problem about our deck is that we didn't get, right? How much money is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think we'd play the witch and then staff the search, maybe find a throne room to go with that. Yeah, I think we play the flagship. Oh wait, we play the search first, then the flagship, buy a province, even though it's super scary with AI's flagships in play, and just hope for the best. I mean, the best thing they could probably do would be to draw a bunch of stuff with witches, but, well, cannot really hinder that. So, do we flagship this laboratory? I think we do, although we might not have enough money in deck then. Well, I think we ought to. Decline that, go for more draw, not trash anything. And is this already double province? No, it isn't, of course. So again, we're one off of the double province, but at least we are at triple duchy territory, and thus get to end this game with a giant barrage of loot flying around. And yeah, this didn't feel all too great. I don't know what went wrong there. I think yeah, going for the loot off of those flagships was probably a really bad idea. So yeah, do with it what you may, but the takeaway here is to maybe not build as monolithically as the AI with all its flagships, which are still quite crazy and quite scary, but rather diversify, but also, yeah, stay ahead on the trashing. In the end, AI ended up with 8 of the curses in its deck, 10 coppers, 6 estates, or 7 estates even, and thus had a lot of duddy turns towards the end. But nonetheless, our deck never really came together. I think you can build a really reliable setup here with maybe a flagship being played at the start of each turn, then I don't know, a laboratory or whatever buried on top, so you get to draw immediately. And the Swamp Shakes, I'm also not too sure about. Yeah, I dislike how we played this kingdom, but it's probably me coming back from the break that I'm not thinking completely straight. But it was still a fun-ish kingdom, and I hope you enjoyed this playthrough. It's rather long for my standards at 22 minutes, but there were a few things where I need to think a bit. Anyways, that wraps up today's video, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I will try to catch you in the next one. And until then, goodbye.